You're traveling on the airwaves of Power 8 Radio.
Okay, so hello everybody. Welcome to another super special episode of PAR Meet the Artist. My name is Pali. Welcome to Power 8 Radio. I'll be the host of the show, and I have an incredible guest on the show. If I could get you to please introduce yourself, tell us your name, tell us where you're from. We know you're an artist. Tell us what you do, please.
Of course, my name is Ryan, but I go on everything by RC Burke. What an opportunity to be here. I really appreciate it. But I am 22 out of Arizona, independent artist. I write all of my songs myself. I'm the genius mastermind behind all of my own craft, man.
Perfect. I like that. So, no gimmicks, no extra people. So let's suppose take it from the beginning. So how long have you been doing music for?
About 5 years now. I started in my garage in 2020 during COVID.
Oh, nice. COVID seemed to it kind of kick a lot of things started. Even though it was a bad time, there were some positives to take out of it. And what
Oh, yeah.
motivated you to go into music, to start doing music?
So it's always been kind of this faint, like, part of me my entire life. My grandma was super artistic. My whole family's been super artistic on that side. Um, but my grandma apparently around like the, excuse me, the 60s and 70s traveled the country, traveled the world, and she did cover songs for people. Like she was apparently a really big, I'm gonna go on stage and do these cover songs kind of person. And she did it because she loved it. She could play instruments by ear, which was passed down to me after my mom, because I can pick up a guitar, piano, I can play notes, except I don't know how to read them, you know? So it's kind of just a thing that's there. So I got music notes tattooed behind my left ear because I figured that made sense. I've always been musically inclined.
Nice. So it's something from the family, sparked up the energy that you've already got through your lineage. And the burning question is, what does RC Burke?
What does he what?
The RC Burke, what does that stand for?
Oh, that is my initials. So I'm okay being public with it. My name is Ryan Cole Burkhart. So it just kind of made sense to emphasize it down because I was sitting there, man, I was looking for a name for so long and I could not figure it out. So I was just like, okay, you know what? I'll put some sense into it and I'll just use my actual initials. And then here we are now.
No, that's perfect. It works because it's a unique name. So that means when people go and search for it, they will only find you, not anybody else. So no, that's good that you've put some thoughts
Exactly.
into your name. That's great. And how would you describe your music style and genre?
It's super unique, because every single song of mine that you click on is completely different than the other. I don't like to feel like predictable or that I'm too much of the exact same thing. So I always switch it up, keep it fresh, keep it new. I try to be original because I hate copying people, and that's what like 90% of rap is now is somebody taking like increments of someone else's style or multiple people's styles and putting it in their own words. But I try not to do that.
Right, that's good. So like the
Yeah.
originality behind it. And you know, what's your songwriting or music creation process? Do you create just the beats or you create the whole music?
So I create all the lyrics by myself, but when it comes to the beats, I buy licenses and those can range because for those that don't know much about like beat licensing and all that, there's beat licenses that you can buy for like $15, which are the cheap end. Like it'll give you just a simple MP3 file. It's really cheap. You can put it in like your little home thing and edit. But what I like to do is buy things called unlimited licenses, which gives me rights to pretty much do whatever I want, although the producer still like has the 100% exclusive rights. So that get with doing that, that gives me the track stems, which allows me to go to a studio and have a second producer mix the beats. So technically I have two producers on every song. but it's super cool because I've spent the last 5 years with one specific guy at this Salt Mine Studios down in Mesa, Arizona, and they do a super good job, man. It's wonders there.
Nice, very nice. We should check them out as well. Well, the artists are listening. Maybe you should give them a check out. And
Seriously.
I would say, what's your biggest, or who are your biggest musical influences? Would you listen to kind of growing up to make RC
Um,
Burkk?
Definitely a lot of XXX. We got those. Those are vinyl records, by the way, not just pictures. And I have Juice WRLD's records right here in front of me on this side. Those two, and then we have Ski Mask, The Weeknd, Eminem, Joji. I grew up on all those guys, and thanks to my family, my entire life, they tried to make me really into country, but it failed. But they did rub off a lot of pop on me, so I have that that pop rock childhood stage too.
Mm,
You know what I mean? So that's why I'm writing that right now. I have a lot of rap out, but what's coming out is a lot more like a pop alternative feeling.
mm, nice, nice, nice. Well, can't wait to hear them.
Yeah.
And you did a track, Little Man Big World, right?
Yes, that's a mixtape.
Yeah. So take us through the story behind that. The title sounds very intriguing.
Um, so when I made that project, it was really just like mentioned before, I've been so musically inclined my whole life. I almost kind of wanted to like prove to myself that I could do it, you know? Like I wanted to sit there and be able to tell myself, okay, I wrote this. I know I sound like this. I did all of this, and nobody told me different. And I want to constantly hear my own growth. So when it starts to sound more like the people that I listen to, that's when I feel impressed with myself. You know what I mean? And I feel like I really accomplished that with specific songs too, like 420 or Illuminated. But then these new songs coming out, they're like so surreal to me because they're an inclination of everything I've done so far. So this year's gonna hit, man. I have three more singles coming out this year too.
Ooh, nice, nice, nice. Like
Yeah.
that. And so, from your listeners, what message do you hope we take from your songs?
Don't be afraid to be yourself, because people are gonna crap on anything anybody does at the end of the day. And have fun with the things you do. And it's important that you're confident with it, like seriously. Because if you go in there and you're just worried about it, then you're gonna overthink things and then it won't come out as fun. And it's a little train path. But music's a really broad topic because it's so simple to where people overthink it all the time. You know what I mean?
Mhm, I feel I got get you there. And I suppose that kind of leads me into my next question. You said it's broad music, but how do you balance production with promotion, with obviously creativity? How do you balance all this?
Man, I don't even know that question. It takes a lot. And the answer to and the reason I say that is because I do music on the side for fun whenever I can, and usually throughout all my day, every day, I'll just think of bars or like as I'm listening to someone's music, I'll kind of just twist things around, and then when I put words together and I come up with something that I think is funny or could work, I have this like little list in my notes app that I use and I just write them down and keep them. But I work at Costco and I go to school for both electrician and HVAC. So I'm doing a lot right now because I have like 55-hour weeks and then I'll come home and I'll do this music stuff. So I'm trying.
Oh, wow, wow, wow! You're really, really doing well.
Yeah.
So impressive at such a young age that you're that focused. So yeah, the sky is definitely the limit.
Yeah.
And these are you kind of probably alluded to some of the challenges, but as an artist, especially as a kind of new upcoming artist, what are some of the challenges that you're facing or you faced, and how did you overcome them?
Well, when I was a starting artist, a lot of the challenges I faced was recording and figuring myself out because I've never done like vocal lessons or anything. Like I completely just figured this out myself. And it sounds very interesting. I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about this on your podcast, but I'm usually pretty open with my usage with psychedelics. I use them specifically when I record because it helps my vocals. And whenever I do use them for some reason, it almost feels like a even better and better personal growth every time I go, and it feels like my soul is like able to let the correct emotions out. You know what I mean? And it's like fulfilling. It feels like I'm taking a weight off my shoulders. That's why I love doing it.
Hmm, interesting. It's a very unique concept there. You're the first
Yeah.
person that actually mentioned that on the podcast. Well, that's weird. We're open. So
Yeah.
yeah. And outside of music, what are your passion and hobbies?
It's actually funny you say that, man. I like to build electrical circuits. Like after I finish my school, my plan is to help my brother flop tiny homes. He currently builds them somewhere out in the middle of nowhere. And I would go out there and do all the electrical and air conditioning, refrigeration, all of that afterwards, and then we're gonna flop them. So it could be like a little family business. It's super cool.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. That's really, yeah, yeah.
I
And
know.
genius as well.
Yeah, because I mean, hey, I figure, in reality, like one in how many people actually thrive and make it in the music industry, as sad as that is. So it's like I have to be prepared for something else just in case, which is why I set myself up for success either way. So
That's a really good one, actually. That's a good way of thinking. As they say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So you diversify, and over time, as you grow in one, then one can probably take precedence on the other. So yeah, no, that's great thinking. Well done.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
let's cover this bit before we kind of talk too much. And so where can people go and reach out to you if they want to listen to your tracks? Where can we find you, and what should we look for?
On absolutely anything, anywhere, whatever you guys listen to. You can find me on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, even things like Deezer, Amazon Music. You can find me on everything: Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok. I really love messages from people, and for me personally, it's kind of strange. I don't actually get a lot of like comments or replies. I just get a lot of like likes or views. But when I do, it means a lot because I take people's hate or criticism and I turn it into something constructive and I learn from what they say. And I
Mm,
feel like that's a good concept because I'm never gonna bring myself down over something that someone said that hurt my feelings.
mm, mm. No, that's a very interesting concept, actually. Especially for artists, itself, you have to be prepared. You have to be tough-skinned in this kind of general in the art industry generally.
Yeah,
It's not for everybody. Not everything is for everybody. And if somebody don't quite like it, you should just be able to go, okay, it's fine, it's not for you. And yeah, keep on the positive side. So right, that's great. Great answer.
I
And
appreciate that. Yeah, I like the way I go about things. I think I make myself pretty simple. I'm an easygoing guy.
that's really, really cool. And kind of out of all your tracks, which one would you say is your favorite?
My favorite. For the longest time, it was 420 since it was made, but now, as of January 2025, my new song called Ever Known is out on all platforms, and I would say that's my favorite. And specifically because of the lyrics that I used. Like if you're sitting there listening deep into what I'm saying, I feel like I made a very relatable song. And that's the specific reason that I love it, because even it to me, it feels like it makes sense. You know what I mean?
No, I like that. I like that a lot. So maybe too for us to ask you to give us a little snippet of it, or
Of
actually of
course.
anything else that you feel like.
Of course. Here a little acapella for you. She'd repeat, be for the streets, unlike you or me. So hard, got Queens vibing in a queen size. She tall, love 'em want me to order Uber Eats while I'm writing onto the beat. All I hear around is FAKELOVEBB. I know that's all you want is all of the money out of my pocket. Meaning, no, I ain't misogynistic, but I can not nor will not give into the look. I think that time that yes, only reason that I argue is because I am unaware of whatever's going on with you, so I ain't going to be the one to take the promiscuous. I would want God, love, a beautiful yet quite a traditional woman, sometimes unlike you. I feel like I'm dead, painted in red, coming at me with a lot of lead, like Left 4 Dead. Our love was real, oh, I'm really wildin' off a vitamin, and my head isn't capable of settling the down when I'm around you, continuing life as if a movie. Truly, why did you discontinue acknowledgement of my existence? You know, to me, you were the finest girl that I have known.
I love that. I love that a lot. That's, you can, even without the beat on it, you can just feel the beat, kind of like the way you're rolling it over. And, I like the way you kind of edit it out to make it clean, give us a clean version of acapella. Actually, I've never seen anybody do that before. And so
Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad I could do that for you. Of
that is amazing. Thank you. Thank you so, so much for that. And
course.
kind of, so what's I know you've released this album, but what's upcoming projects or goals for you?
Well, as of 2 weeks ago, I released my first drill song called Horn Dog with my buddy Nate. He goes by N Man on all platforms, and it's doing really well so far. My first drill song, and that was his first time in the studio, and he freestyled his verse, so it turned out pretty fire. And the day after my birthday, or a little before August, I'm releasing another track. I don't know if I'm gonna reveal the names just yet, just yet, but and then another one at the end of this year, and
Wow.
potentially one more with it. It's all still in debate, but I know I want three more this year.
Oh, nice. I like that. I like that. I'm working damn many hours studying and still putting in all this time into music. That's really, really commendable. Like that.
Yeah,
Wait to hear more from your music. And
thank you.
let's ask this one, that if you could open a show for any artist in the world, who would it be and why?
Open a show for any artist?
Yes.
Um, it would probably be Ski Mask. And I would specifically say that because he and Juice at the Goodbye and Good Riddance concert in 2018 was the only one I've ever been to in my life. And I grew up on that guy. Like, I grew up listening to him and X with my boys in his garage. We would sit there and listen to him every day for years, memorize all of his songs. I would for sure open up for Ski Mask.
No, that's really, really great. And let me kind of ask it in kind of a slightly different way. So if you could do your dream collaboration now with any artist, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Okay, you said dead or alive. Then probably Juice. He's the main reason that I decided to start officially writing and going for myself. And I know it sounds corny because people have for whatever reason grown to say, "Oh, you're just another Juice corny kid," you know. It's not like that. Like he was a for me at least he was a genuine connection because I was at some rough points when I first heard him, and then as I was going through like a big growth period in my personal life and I had him in the background too, everything he said was perfect, matched, and it just kind of motivated me to be like, okay, if he can do this, I can do this, you know.
That would be
So,
interesting.
but of course, since he's no longer with us, God RIP, um, I would say alive, probably Eminem, which is crazy, but yeah. Who knows one day, because I can actually keep up with him. I have Rap God memorized. I'm trying so hard on Godzilla.
Wow, that's yeah, no, Eminem, I feel that vibe. No, that's a great names you've mentioned there. And kind of let me ask what I call kind of like my random question.
Yeah,
Um, if your music, looking at all the different styles that you have, if there was
yeah.
an emoji to describe, just one emoji to describe your music, what emoji would it be? It could be something that we know already, it could be something that you just made up.
A word for it,
An
like
emoji for it.
emotion for it. I would say unique,
Mm,
just very unique. I
mm,
try not to copy anybody else and keep myself completely unpredictable. And like I mentioned, I try to keep it fresh. So everything you click on, it'll be like, okay, what is he doing different this time? But
mm.
it's completely unique, man. That's the way I put it. I'm open to better words. Please comment section. Tell me, describe my music in better words for me.
That's perfect. Yes, that's the way to do it. And if your life were a mixtape, what would be on side one, or side A and side B, and which one would you play first?
Oh, I've never, it's funny. I've never thought of it like that. Um, I would probably, if I put Little Man Big World on a side A and side B, I would probably like from top to bottom kind of thing. I would probably do A, side A.
Side A. Yeah, nice. And yeah, so as we're kind of wrapping up, any closing remarks to the viewers?
Thank you so much for having me on here, man. It's a great opportunity to have even come on this radio station, man. Live or not, it's been a dream. This is a big step for me. This is actually my first time doing an interview on any radio station. So it means a lot.
Oh, you're most welcome. And I said I said sky is the limit with everything you're doing and how much work you're putting into it. Can only say grow, and we'll see you kind of on billboards everywhere. So yeah,
The
it's
sky's the
a
limit.
pleasure. It's a
I
pleasure
agree.
having you on this show. So yeah,
Thank you.
until we meet again, take care.
You too.
More music variety on Power Ace Radio.